going on, Pokemon Go trainers? Welcome to episode 9 of the Lured Up Creator Series, the podcast bringing you your favorite content creators to talk about their work, process, and the game that brings it all together, Pokemon Go. Lured Up is part of the Pokemon Professor Network, and today is Monday, July 27th, 2020. I'm your host, Ken Pescatore, joined by my co-host, Adam Tuttle. Adam, what up?
Hey,
how are you?
I'm here.
What's going on?
But we're not alone. Ken.
We're not alone. Of course we're not.
I know, right?
Series.
I know. We're never alone.
We have to have a friend with us. And this week, we are joined, once again, returning to the show, the Kruse Ship. Tom Kruse is in the house. What's up, Tom? How are you, man?
Oh, what's up, guys? How you guys doing?
There's that energy.
I'll be the tugboat pulling you in.
Yo.
What's going on, man?
Not much, dude. Just reeling on the energy of Go Fest right now, dude. It's a bittersweet. It's always so freaking fun, but at the end, it's just like oh man, you just want to do that every day.
I know, man. That it was exceptionally intense, and you know, we've gone from having 1 hour events to 3 hour community days to 6 hour community days to 8 hour safari zones, and now we had 10 hours of Go Fest for 2 days in a row. It was like, whoa. It was intense.
Where's our
Lots
24-hour one now?
I know, right? Imagine. It's like nonstop. It's like a freaking rave or something. That'd be great. I'd be so down. But, dude, why don't you introduce yourself? Let us know where you're from. Tell us about your channel, and we'll start talking about some content.
Right on. My name is Tom Kruse. My channel's name is the Kruse Ship. Basically, on this channel, I just shiny hunt. I'm a little wild. I can't control my energy, and I just like to shiny hunt and play Pokemon.
I love that the disclaimer. It's like I can't control it.
I can't control it. No, man. I saw somebody recently be like, I'm exhausted just watching this. It's like I'm like, imagine being me.
It cannot be contained.
It cannot. You cannot put this lightning in a bottle, dude. It's too much. But that's great, man. Thank you so much for coming back on the show. I think it's probably been close to a year or so since we last had you on. So
it's been
I know, man.
A while.
Time is flying.
It's been a while.
Thank you, Adam. Thank you for the Poke puns. Jeez, Adam's always good for the Poke puns. But why don't we get started with just kind of how you got started with the Pokemon franchise at large? When were you first introduced to the franchise? Like, has this been kind of a thing through your past, or was Pokemon Go your first introduction?
Yeah, it's been ever since it got released in North America for me. I was in either 4th or 5th grade, but I believe 5th grade. And I remember my neighbor across the street was kind of like looking at it in like a Nintendo Power or something like that. And I thought it looked cool. I'm like, all right, well, I have an older brother and we both got a version. I got blue version, he got red. And I just was captivated by it. Then the TV show came out at the same time. And I just remember like every morning, like my mom would make me and my brother toasted strudels. We would watch an episode of the show right before school. Go down there, play that on recess, and then also like the Pokemon cards came out, and so we would those weren't always allowed at school because it was such a phenomenon.
Right? No, that's when you just make them. You just make them, and they can't. I just drew a piece of paper. I just drew this. Come
you
on.
Have proxy cards in school.
Yeah,
it's like these are not official.
I did that.
Yeah, yeah, dude, and like I just remember like under the cubby. In like elementary school, like we would like have the cards like hidden under the cubby and we're just like looking at them and stuff like that.
Hell yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, so I played that, and then Pokemon Yellow came out. I played that, and then when Gold and Silver came out, that's my favorite generation. I just remember I had a friend in my class who had family from Japan, and he had like a Nintendo Power or something from there that had like sneak peeks of like Ampharos, Meryl, who was called like Peekaboo. And like Togepi and stuff like that. And I just remember being like so excited for that. Because it was like kind of like, it came out relatively fast. Because I think I was still around the hype when that came out. And I just, I was in love with it then. And then I played Ruby and Sapphire. But then I never got a DS when Pearl and Diamond came out. So I never bought the DS because I was like, I didn't have the money at the time. And I didn't really feel like I should buy a whole console for one game.
Right.
By the time I got my hands on a DS, that's when Generation 5 came out. So I was just like, well, I'm just going to play the new one. So I played Generation 5, and then it was the same thing with 6 and 7. Like I didn't have a 3DS, so I didn't play those. So I kind of fell. Like I always liked Pokemon. I always was keeping up with it. Like, oh cool, this one's out, and kind of looked at it a little bit. But it wasn't until Pokemon Go came out that with Generation 1, the generation I was most familiar with, and it took the world by storm, where I was just like, oh god, yes, we're back, baby. Like Pokemon full force. Let's do this.
No, well, we talk about it a lot on this show. Like, one of the cool things about the franchise at large is the fact that it has, like, the trainers can have ebbs and flows, and you can come and go to the franchise, and it's just something like a sport or a sport team or riding your bike. It's just like you could always love it, and you could always have a dedication and a passion to it, even if you're not like hyper engaged with the games themselves. So it's like I did the same thing. Like I dropped off at Generation 4 and then I came back. I was working in the video game industry for all of those years, and so I was doing stuff around Pokemon, but I wasn't typically playing the video games. I mean, I was still collecting the cards. I was still, in that world, but it wasn't until Gen 7 did I actually get my hands dirty with the games again. But It was like, once you come back, and for a lot of people that was Pokemon Go, once you come back, it's like, oh my god, like I feel like I haven't left. Like it welcomes you right back in with open arms. And especially with the rollout of Generations with Go, it was like getting people back in with Kanto. It was like, oh, I know all this shit, like I feel right at home. And like I think that was so welcoming for trainers that it was so easy for people to get reacclimated to the franchise, because it kind of walked them through that same timeline that, they were introduced to the game when it was coming out, and now they're reliving that whole timeline again, and that really brought a dynamic of comfort to a lot of trainers. So that's awesome to hear, man, that you did play those older games, though, because so you understand the dynamic of the core values of Pokemon with training and building relationships and friendship and kindness and like all that stuff, because in those early games, that's really what it was all about. It was, you think of the community in Pokemon Go, and it's like back then in those games, that's what being a 10-year-old trainer and going on an adventure and meeting new people and battling, trainers and finding Pokemon, like it's so cool to see those parallels between the original games and Go, and how, we were able to relive those years through Go. Super, super awesome stuff, man. But in Go, what team are you on? And, do you have a favorite Pokemon through the years? Does it change for you? Or, who's your favorite Pokemon right now?
Okay, my team is Team Mystic. I picked that because my favorite legendary bird is Zapdos, but it was sort of at the time, like my favorite color is blue. And at the time I thought like the gym leader or the team leader mascot was going to be like, oh, that's the bird you get because it's legendary. I thought like, oh, okay, and then we can like trade them or something to the other teams. So even though my favorite was Zapdos, I was like, Articuno's still sick. Like, I like blue, like that'll be cool, So I chose that.
Right. Nice.
And my favorite Pokemon, it's always kind of been changing, but stays the same. Like with the early years, I really like Voltorb. I like Tangela. There will be like some honorable mentions every now and then, but my favorite Pokemon as it stands right now is Lunatone from Generation 3, even though Generation 3 didn't like super resonate with me as much as like Generation 2 did, because like I for the longest time, Donphan was my favorite Pokemon. Like ever since Pokemon, the first movie, Mewtwo Strikes Back, since that one.
Yeah, when you see him in the opening scene.
That opening scene, man, as a kid, that just did it for me.
And he's using Rollout, just coming at you.
Yeah, that was like, but like when you're in the theater and the music, like the version of the theme song was like the most kick-ass version it's ever been. And he comes out, he's just like stomping his foot like back and forth and does that cool rollout with like the way the camera goes. I was like, oh man, baby. Like he's always done it for me. And then I really like object type Pokemon, like kind of like the stupider ones for some reason. So like Voltorb or Lunatone. Like I've always been fascinated with the moon growing up, so it just looked cool. He was always a top favorite, but he was never the favorite until Pokemon Go. Because when I was excited for Generation 3 to come out, I was like, all right, like my team is what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to getting like Spheal. I'm looking forward to getting Lunatone. I'm looking forward to getting Flygon. All those guys that I used to use against like the Elite Four. And then when Lunatone, he was one of my more favorite from Generation 3. When that was a regional when it first came out, I was like, oh man, no.
Yeah, figures.
Yeah, like no. And so I had friends that lived in Australia that I knew in San Francisco that moved over there. So I visited them in 2018, and when I was there, I'm like, game day, baby. This is where I get Lunatone. I got to get it while I'm here. And I quickly learned that it was rare as hell. Like, it's only at night, and it kind of spawns more common when it's either partly cloudy or windy. And my friends, like a lot of my friends in my personal life, don't play Pokemon. So like when I was on the trip with them, I went with like my roommates because we were all mutual friends. They didn't play, and so I didn't have a car, so I couldn't go like hunting. So I was kind of like, I was having fun with them, obviously, but I was kind of like, I was with them. If it was near me, then that was it, right? Sure. So it'd be at nighttime too, whenever it comes out. So I couldn't just go venture off with no car. So I like for many days out there, it wasn't showing up, and I was like, come on. And so one morning, I went for like a little run before everyone woke up, and I didn't see it on the earbag or anything like that. It just spawned at the beach, like right there, and just seeing on the overworld, I like got like the jitters, like there it is, oh my god, clicked it, like caught it. Yeah, and it just looked so mysterious, and like because of that like moment and having it, like it felt like way rarer than anything else because I came back to the States being like, throw it in gyms, like look at that. That's my moon rock that I went from like freaking from all over the world,
And now it's like everyone's got that stuff.
Yeah. Pretty soon after I came back from Australia, that's when the solstice thing swapped. And I was in like a raid group and people were like, there's a Lunatone by Starbucks if anyone's going to get it. And I was like, darn! So because of that, like I was super into it. And then once its shiny form got released, it went back to the other side of the world. And I was like, no, man, like, I need to get that. And so because of the journey and the quest of trying to get the shiny in every different country that I've traveled to, because I do love travel, but I never traveled as much as I did until this last year. Because of that, like, the memories attached, it's rose to my favorite. Because I just have, it's very, like...
No, dude, I love, like, it seems like whenever anyone catches a fucking Lunatone, they're tagging you on social. Like, I love it. Like, I always see the posts. It's just like, hey, check it out. I got the shiny. Like, when Safari Zone was, came through this year, it was like, and Lunatone was around. It was just like, I just saw so many people tagging you. It's so cool that, I mean, like, I can't see that Pokemon without associating it with you. Like how much in the zeitgeist it is. It's so cool. But that's a great story, man. I love that. I absolutely love that. I mean, I remember we had in GoFest 2018 in Chicago, we had a GoFest podcast meetup, our Mareep up, we called it. And there was it was after midnight. We're in a bar. Everyone's all tuned up. And a Lunatone spawned like outside the bar. And I remember like, I don't know, it was like 80% of the people that were in there did not have it in their decks. So it was like fucking madness. Everyone running outside and catch it. It was so exciting. It's like, I love that feeling. Cool. Like you're saying, just seeing it on the map, you're just like, anytime that happens with a Pokemon, it builds that excitement. So being able to create that kind of memory associated with a Pokemon, hell yeah, man. That's freaking awesome. I love that story. That's super good stuff.
Thank you. Well, it's like that day one excitement with Pokemon Go. I feel like that everyone had at the start, where you're just like, you can just walk out the door and you don't know it's like, is there going to be a Blastoise? Like, where is anything? You know what I mean? Like the shadow on your map, you're like, oh snap, there's an actual Aerodactyl nearby. I got to get that. We're going. That's like, it kind of brings back that magical feeling when you go somewhere that's like, oh my god, this is my chance and this is rare and I'm going to get it.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, that's cool though. I would have loved to have been there. I remember when it first got shiny released, I went to Singapore for my first real trip for Pokemon Go, and it was Sentosa, and I was staying there, and there was a ton of stops, and it was my first time at the hotel, and there was Lunatones everywhere, and I was like, all right, baby, this is the trip. We're getting it. I was the first time in a country that I didn't know what the rules were, so I'm like, should I be even allowed outside hunting this late? I don't know. And the next day, that's when they were getting prepared for the Safari Zone, and all the spawns were nerfed. And it was just Shuckles around the stop. The entire time I was like, no, I could have got it. So every time I go travel, it was always for an event, so spawns would be different. So it was always hard to get them. But anyways,
Man, that's rough.
That's awesome. I know, dude. That's great, though. I love everything about that. But let's move to your content just a little bit here. Before you started making your own content, what was the type of content that you consumed? Were you watching any other game style content, or like what were you into? Were you watching YouTube before you started making videos?
I did watch YouTube. It wasn't really Pokemon Go. I would watch stuff like the Game Grumps or
Nice.
Before then, I watched like CasMG. I don't know if you guys knew CasMG.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, like I used to watch that stuff because I'm 32 years old, and when I was 22, I've always wanted to be an entertainer. And so when I was 22 is when I was watching YouTube and watching CasMG doing his like vlogs and stuff, and I would try to do that, but I just insecurities and hurdles always made me not go through with it. So like a lot of my friends in my personal life, they didn't really want to be entertainers. Like I was always like, I'm gonna move to LA because I live in Orange County.
Right.
I'm like, I'm gonna move to LA, and like, you know, after I graduate college, I'm gonna move to LA, and I'll meet a bunch of like-minded people, and we can create stuff together, kind of like how CasMG and his crew is doing. Because like I would take my vlog camera to like a camping trip that we went on, and all my friends like, don't put this on the internet. I don't want to be on the internet. Go away. Like, there was back then it wasn't as like
Common,
or like just like, oh sweet, like you're like a Viner. That's awesome. Like because there was an application called Hang With that was like live broadcasting at first. That was sort of like, I think it's Meerkat or Periscope, one of those ones. It was sort of like that, and I'd be like, a friend of mine worked for it, so I was going to be able to get like some money if I had to do like 15 broadcasts with it, and
okay, nice.
Anytime I tried doing that, my friend was like, I don't want people watching me live, like go away, like get out of here. So I was just like, all right. So I never really got into it, and then I tried doing like a Game Grumps type thing with one of my best friends who we have a really good like comedy dynamic, or so we think, together, but it just didn't work out because he was just recently getting married, having a kid, having to kind of do his own thing. So it was just like, just over and over, kind of just trying to do creation, but then I would pretty much excuses, not like if I run to a hurdle, I'm like, all right, well next Monday I'll do it. Next Monday, before you know it, it's because I wanted to do Pokemon Go when it first came out. But iPhone, you couldn't record your screen at the time.
Sure.
Yeah, we both know that very well.
We're both iPhone users. It was like, God damn it! I just want to stream. I want to stream with Facecam.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I bought the Samsung Galaxy S10 in order to stream my face because of the channel. I've always been like an iPhone user, and so because of that, I was comfortable with it. And I didn't really have that much money, so I'm like, well, I'm not gonna, I didn't have a channel, so I'm like, all the insecurities. I'm like, well, am I gonna buy a droid and then not be familiar with how I'm using it to film this thing that no one's going to watch? Like, I don't have the money for that. I can't set myself back that. Like, what about bills? That type of stuff. And so I didn't, it was stuff like that, like little hurdles that would just make me like not start it.
So what was the real catalyst to then you saying, I'm going to log in to YouTube and create a channel? Was there something that kind of was a trigger, or was this just kind of this aggregation of all these trials and tribulations over the years, and you're just like, you know what, fuck it, I got to do this?
Sort of the aggravation of it, because I had been working for a company, and I had been there for a while, and I got to a really good position in it, and I had to move for it, and I was with somebody that like I thought I was going to like marry, blah blah blah, and I was in good shape, and I just graduated college, and that's when Pokemon Go came out, like right around that time. But then I injured my back, and I couldn't do the job anymore. And then I ended up splitting up with that person, because then after like when it was evident that I needed support at some point, like she wasn't that person. So I was like, okay, I don't see a future, blah, blah, blah. Not to get too deep, but basically it like everything kind of got scrapped, and I had to move back home, and all my personal friends and friends and all that were, like I said, getting married, having kids. They were still in their positions that they were in, yada, yada, yada. And so I ended up, after all that stuff had happened, kind of went through, and not kind of, I did go through anxiety and depression. I got like my first like panic attacks and all that type of stuff. So I was living with a couple, and as soon as iPhone released the ability to screen record, I was like, F it, I'm doing it. I'm gonna
yeah.
film it, blah, blah, blah. And I filmed one video, but because I was such in a bad mental place, it's still on my channel. It's the first one for Generation 3. I just hated it. I hated the quality. I didn't have a good camera. I'm not good at editing, any of that. I was just like, oh my God, whatever. I'm gonna upload it. There was a part 2 to that video that I never uploaded, so I just didn't continue it. And so I struggled with that for all of like 2017 and 2018, and then I finally like started this thing where I did like a 30-day healthy cleanse, and I did the healthy cleanse for 30 days, lost a bunch of weight. All of a sudden my thoughts were positive again. I like felt like me again. I wasn't dealing with the anxiety or the depression, and I was just like, F it, like I'm gonna start doing the content creation that I want to do. Pokemon Let's Go was coming out, and originally I was going to do playthroughs of it, like and upload them. But since I hadn't had my shit together, if you will, I didn't really know how to edit things or do any of that to get it. I knew myself. I knew I wasn't going to be able to get it out. I'm going to get it out by like next week, and no one's going to care. So I started doing it live, and I was doing live streams, and then like day 2, someone came in. Day 3, like 3 people came in. Day 4, 5, and all of a sudden I just had like a bunch of people to talk to while doing the live stream, and then I ended up really enjoying it. And so then I started shiny hunting there because I had never gotten shinies before. I tried hard and never got any shinies in the main series game.
Right.
Ever. I did like a full 24-hour like Terrakion in white and black reset thing. I was like, this is everyone's in on it to lie to me. Everyone's lying. This doesn't exist. Like I was trying to debunk it and everything. And so I just found a lot of joy in interacting with people in the live stream. So I'm like, all right, I like to do live streams. So I was doing that. And before I knew it, I ended up getting raided by the Game Salmon, who's a channel that does a lot of like horror games like Five Nights at Freddy's and stuff like that. But he also is super into Pokemon. So he raided me, and then probably had like 100 to 200 subs at that point. And then Little Shelder raided me as well. And then I kind of had like a little community, and I just kind of kept doing that. And then after because I didn't have a camera. The camera I used for vlogs in the past was my friend's that I borrowed. After that, I made like I'm like, all right, if anyone wants to see the Pokemon vlogs that I wanted to do, like, here's like a little donation goal, and we met that. I got the vlog camera, and then I just started vlogging for Pokemon Go, and I guess, the rest is kind of history.
Man, that's an epic story.
That's such an awesome story, man. That is so awesome.
Yeah, can you share that 30-day cleanse with me?
Yeah.
Please.
What's that?
I need to know that. I gotta get myself in that same zone, because I just got a brand new laptop, and streaming is where my mind's at, and that's what I want to do. I feel like I'm in the similar.
Do it.
I've been in the similar boat as you. Pun intended.
Do it. Like, it's tough. Like, I'll be honest. Like so it's from. I never usually like to like drop the name of the thing I do, because I always feel like, because I would talk about this in my streams all the time, because I felt so hopeless before when I was dealing with the hardcore anxiety and depression. Like, especially at the job I was at, I was working for a friend, and I would have panic attacks on the regular, and I legit when we go to lunch together, I'd have to Uber home and be like, sorry, dude, I can't, because I was just having panic attacks. And he was someone who never got anxiety or depression. So he was a good friend. So it was like, he would never fire me, I guess. But you could tell he was not happy with it, that type of stuff. And I would just be in my own head, like, how the hell am I ever going to be able to do any of the jobs that I want to do to have a future if I'm freaking out at lunch? I just picture being doing a presentation in front, oh, we're 5% above the last revenue, and then just having a panic attack doing that. You know what I mean? So I just remember for that whole year I was in that office, and he had pictures of Hawaii, and I'd be looking at those pictures, and I was like, oh man, I am not on this earth to just be sitting here sucking at this job. And so that's what. So I watched a video for Mystic 7 when I was on break at work. I watched the video because I was always playing Pokemon Go since it came out, regardless. And so while I was like job hunting, I would still be going to Long Beach playing Pokemon Go, and I'd feel like I was wasting time, right? Like if I'm out here hunting Pokemon, I was like, I need to be like looking for I need to get my shit together, dude. Like, what are you doing, you know? And then I watched a video from Mystic 7, which was like a 1 minute video, or it was like a trailer or something, and it was like my life in a year or something, and it was just like he was like zip lining and fucking all these like drone shots and like doing all this stuff.
I know exactly that video.
Yep.
Yeah, and I was like, that's possible. Like I'm like that. Like, what am I doing behind this desk? Like I need to be doing what I love and enjoying life. Is kind of like where my mindset was.
Yeah, man. You know what, dude? I love hearing that story, and I love hearing how, you know, you drew inspiration not only from yourself, but also others in the community, and they kind of, you know, sometimes all it takes is a little nudge, you know what I mean? And it's like finding that within the community itself and finding inspiration from within the community. That's one of the things I love about this community so much, is that it's very self-governing, and it really does a great job of supporting itself. And that's really exciting to hear, man. I'm glad everything's worked out. And before Adam gets into like kind of the style of your content, I have to ask, because I always see it in your videos, what's the connection with Captain America? Because I see Cap Shield like all the time in your content, and I'm like, dude, is this dude just like obsessed with Captain America, or is this like, it's like, what's the deal with the shield?
That's America's ass.
I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with Captain America. Like I have like just, I don't know, maybe I'm just like, I'm like a kid in an adult's body. Like all the stuff I loved as a kid, like I just am obsessed with to this day. Like Captain America. So my first video game console was the Sega Genesis with Sonic the Hedgehog as my first game. And that's my first memory that I can actually date. I remember, because like that game came out around when I was 3 years old. And I remember being like at my old place, my dad was standing up showing me and my brother how to beat the first boss in Sonic the Hedgehog with like the old home entertainment theater where the big CRT and all that stuff.
Hell
That's
yeah.
my first memory.
The big boxes.
And so the very next game that I got was Captain America and the Avengers, which was like a Simpsons arcade style game.
Yep.
Right.
I'm familiar with that one.
Yeah, so you could play as Captain America, Iron Man, Vision, or Hawkeye. So I loved all those guys, but Captain America was the one that just like saying to me, I had like I had action figures of Captain America and Iron Man, but I just like Captain America. I liked them both relatively equal, but then Captain America was always a little more. And it's just, you know, all of a sudden, like, you know, you're obsessed with it. I played Marvel vs. Capcom. I would play like my team, you know, I'd have Captain America, Iron Man on the team, Marvel vs. Capcom.
Nice.
And I was just all obsessed with them. And then I went to one Comic-Con in my life, and the one Comic-Con I went was 2007, and they were making Iron Man. And at the time, superhero movies were whatever. It was like, hey, they make Ghost Rider, right? All right, you know, Nick Cage, it was fine.
Right.
Fantastic Four, it was fine. So I was like, oh, I'm the only one that's going to care about Iron Man right now, but I'm stoked. Let me get the preview, right? And I go to the Hall H. It wasn't as crazy as it is now, because that's the only one I was able to get into was 2007. And went to Hall H, and Jon Favreau came out and gave us a freaking trailer of the Iron Man movie. And the graphics, like, it looked insane. I had like tears in my eyes. I'm like, oh my God, this is incredible. And when I saw that movie, I still have the ticket for the Iron Man, like the very first. I saw it when I lived in San Francisco. And I just was addicted to that Marvel Cinematic Universe. That was like the number one thing I would look forward to, was every next installment. It felt like one big Netflix series or a TV series. Like every movie that came out was just like part of the saga. And
it was just a little bit better than the next.
A little bit better than this one. I'm like, how do they keep getting better? How do they keep getting better? And it just, they did the characters justice. It wasn't like that was the first superhero movies where Marvel Studios owned the characters.
Right,
like,
right. Exactly.
Yeah. Like the old X-Men ones I was disappointed in, because I'm like, they're all in the black leather suits. Like, where's my Wolverine in the yellow and the blue? Like, apparently Kevin Feige, who's like the head of Marvel Studios, he was the reason like Wolverine even kept his like pointy hair in X-Men, because the hairdresser was like, I don't want to mess with this. Like, why can't he just have normal hair? This is ridiculous. And he's like, no, it's like, I can't, like, there's a lot of like executives being like, well, this is my take on it. Like then you see Sabretooth look horrible or like, you know,
I love that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's
so
like,
in these movies, yeah, like, you know, stuff like that. Like I would watch those movies and like Iceman in the first movie, it's like all he did was chill a Diet Coke. And it's like, dude, ice up and slide around, dude. What's going on? Like, why is it that hard? And so in these movies, like they did every character pretty much the justice they deserved. Like
yes,
like Captain America, they made him cool. Like people were originally like, who's this? Like, you know, he like in the first Avengers movie, like Josh Whedon kind of made fun of him a bit, where he kind of makes him the guy who's like, you know, language and freaking like a spangly outfit, that type of stuff. Yep. But then the Russo brothers, like, this is where he's cool, like with Winter Soldier and Civil War and all that. And it's like, yes, like
God
he gets
damn, Winter Soldier is so freaking good, man.
So good, dude.
Fucking good. So
oh my God, it was my favorite until Infinity War.
All right, bring in the ship back into port.
Yeah, my bad.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Love the passion.
Talk about my obsessions. I'll go crazy.
But speaking of the passion, if somebody's never seen your content, like I'm brand new, I have no idea who you are. What can I expect when I click on your first video? Not necessarily the first one, but like any of the recent 3 or 4. What can I expect to see when I click that play button on YouTube?
I would hope a good time and like a party and laughter. That's my hope. Like I hope that someone clicks on it, gets laughs out of their day, whether at my expense or not. I always find that to be the most fun humor is self-deprecating. And also just like excitement and a good time. Like, especially during, you know, the world's worst year, allegedly. I like to kind of bring, you know, just like joy in the day, like laughter. Like if you click on my content, I hope to not be annoying, but I find myself annoying when I'm editing my stuff. So I get it. But I hope to bring like, you see, and it's just like, you just see this guy who's just trying to freaking, you know, he just trips over himself basically trying to get the like out there getting.
Well, see, I love
playing
that.
The game basically like that. I just like to get some laughs, like, you know, like for me, I think it's funny if I had a video where I lost 100% Entei because I couldn't throw excellence because I'm not good. I don't know. I didn't go to the excellent throwing school that everyone else went to. I just was the guy that played.
And you did not get your diploma for that.
Yeah. So like I think it's funny, or it's like, no, like I lost it, but I would see a lot of the comments being like you're a moron, like dude. So my hope is to bring laughter and joy into somebody's day.
All right, yeah,
that's my
perfect
hope.
way to say it. I mean, you do blend high energy and a lot of humor. Is that intentional? Is that like part of your shtick?
Yeah, I try to be funny. I try to make people laugh. The high energy, like I can't control it sometimes. Like that's just like how
you don't say.
You don't. Yeah.
I don't like because like I said, like some people, you know, like a lot of people are very kind and a lot of people enjoy it. At least they say like in the comments and stuff. But it's like those ones where it's like you get the one negative one where it's like, that's my insecurity. You just said it. That was it.
Right.
That was one right there where it's like I feel like if I was just doing the raid and not like just screwing up like I am, like I don't feel like that would be entertaining. So
look, you gotta find what works, and the you know, even the way Adam put it, you're like, is that part of your thing? Like I find what you do exceptionally organic. Like it seems so natural. Like it doesn't seem like there's ever a point where you're like, all right, shit, I gotta stay a joke here. I gotta insert a joke, or I gotta make it funny. Like you're just going through the motions, and it just happens to be fucking hilarious. And even if it's at your own expense, that's what's funny as hell about it. Like that's like the best part. It's like, you know, and I appreciate that in the content because it's very real and it's very casual, and it's like, you know, sometimes you got to laugh at yourself. I mean, that's funny shit, and that, you know, that's where the magic happens a lot, when you're not afraid to just like, you know, roll the dice and let it ride. I love that shit.
Yeah. Thank you.
Tom, how has the pandemic impacted your content and production? Have you had any struggles? Anything that excelled you during all this?
yes and no at the same time. It's definitely affected my YouTube. Because like I said, like if I don't feel like I'm going to be bringing something that's entertaining, I won't necessarily create it. Like there's a lot of features that happen in Pokemon Go that come out that like if I'm not as interested in it, I won't make something on it. Like I haven't really talked about, like not that I'm not interested in Megastones or something, but it'll be something like there was some feature like the Wayfair stuff. I didn't like talk about that because I'm just like, I'll leave that to someone who actually knows what they're talking about.
Oh, I was going to say, Ken would gladly do a live stream with you about that.
No, but that's an important thing, though, because then, like I said, you don't want to force that shit because especially with how hyper critical the Pokemon Go community is, they see right through that shit. So it's like, and they're going to call you on it. So it's like, if they think that, what you're doing is forced, they're gonna say something. I mean, they're gonna say something anyway. But if they think something's forced, they're definitely gonna call you on your shit and be like, "Dude, this doesn't seem right. It seems fake, or whatever it is." So it's like I can definitely appreciate you saying, "Hey, I wasn't into Wayfair, so I'm not gonna make content about it because there's gonna be someone else that can put passion behind it that I don't have." That's fucking noble as hell. I think that's a great perspective to look at it because it's like doing your own quality control. I appreciate that.
Well, thank you. Yeah, so like the energy stuff. Like this is gonna sound weird. Like that's like my base. Like when you say it's like a thing, like that. That's my base form. Is that like that's like I'm always like kind of making jokes and stuff like that. Like I'm always kind of annoying my friends and doing like that. Like if I'm not being like that, I'm controlling myself. If that makes any sense. So like
you're keeping yourself in check.
Yeah. So for example, like we just did a round table with like Holly. Brandon, Zoe, Gilly, Nick, and Reversal on Twitch, and like I don't want to be annoying because that's my personality, so I won't like say as much. I don't want to like talk, you know what I mean? Like I'm just like that's just me. Like if I'm going like blah, 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 I picture that's annoying. So like in person, in public, I kind of more recluse. But when I'm on my own, I can just kind of be me, and it's just how I think that's the best way to describe it.
Sure.
If that makes any sense.
It makes perfect sense.
But yeah, so as far as your question goes, it's definitely affected the YouTube. I wanted, like I said earlier, I loved live streaming, but after all the travels that I went on, I didn't really do that as much. And then I wanted to get into live streaming, but I had started watching Twitch a bit because my friend T Slayers was on there. And I'd be watching him, and then I started watching kind of some other creators and saw different stuff there, and I was like, you know what? I want to start streaming again, but I want to do it like on Twitch because I just liked the platform better for streaming. Like YouTube has streaming, but it's not designed for it. Twitch is designed for it. Like when you raid somebody, you can just do /raid. It raids and it says how many people are going. The emotes you can share on every stream. I can kind of be more myself. Like I can kind of just like curse and drink and play music, where at the time I could play music before I came and ruined it and made the DMCA start to wake up. But yeah, like it's affected the YouTube, but because of being at home, I've been able to stream on. It's like it's a weird blessing and a curse at the same time. Because I definitely didn't have the money to do the travels like I did last year. That was all from savings. And I was very like, fuck, I'm going to miss out on so much because I'm not going to be able to do Dortmund again. You're going to do Chicago and you're going to do Japan. And then save up, that type of thing. So it's sort of a blessing in disguise. So I'm like, okay, like I'm not spending all that money and I'm starting a new venture. And so I feel the Twitch has been a lot of fun. I feel like the community has responded to it pretty well. And I don't know. So it's good and bad, but I definitely have felt because like I went like a week and a half or 2 weeks or even longer without even posting something on YouTube because I just didn't. Yeah, which is usually not what I would be like.
Well, it's okay as long as you've got, content there. Even though you're streaming on Twitch, you can always push people to YouTube, so they can get your backlog, see what you're all about.
Right.
What's it like hitting Twitch partner?
Oh, dude, it's validating, if that makes sense.
That's so fucking. First of all, let's hard stop. That's an amazing accomplishment. I always love seeing these success stories, and I love seeing people when they reach partner, because I know how fucking difficult it is to accomplish. So it's like, I just want to say, I love when creators get to this milestone, because like you said one word about it so far. It's validating. And I think that that's a fantastic way to put it, because Twitch does an amazing job of putting the vetting process behind their partner program is very tough. So you should be very proud of that, man. I just wanted to get that out there, because it's a fucking awesome accomplishment.
Thank you. That really means a lot, because it, like, I normally don't like care about like the numbers or analytics or anything like that. Like, I don't usually like to care about that, but it was just something where it's like, because I'm still a very small creator, and I want to, it's not like I want to be a big creator. I just want to be able to do this to continue, because I'm loving my life doing this. I'm loving my life in the community.
That's awesome to hear.
Like, yeah, like, and I want to be able to do it and pay the bills loving my life. I don't want to have to go back to where I'm stuck behind a thing.
Do you have any tips?
Sounds dreamy.
Do you have any tips to get partner? For new Twitch streamers, do you have any tips?
I just say, just do it and be you and interact with the community and be kind. And that's the only thing because I don't know how the hell it happened for me. Like, I'm a very insecure, whether it seems like it or not, like, creator, I guess. Like, I'm very like, do people actually like me, or is they just watching it? You know, like that type of stuff, right? Like, for example, when I started doing Twitch, I did, for Abracom Day, I did a YouTube stream at the start. And I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to tell everyone to come over to Twitch after you do an hour, and then we're going to head over for an hour. And for the first time ever, there was like 500 people watching on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, guys, we're going over to Twitch, baby. Let's go.
Impressive.
I went over to Twitch, and it was like, there was like 40 people on Twitch for the rest of the com day.
It's totally different.
And so I was just like, well, did people actually like me? Like, I know it shouldn't be like about that, but like, so that's the thing. So I'm the point I'm trying to make is, I'm a small creator, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this for a living, etc., or if I'm any good, or if it's just because it's, you know, whatever, that type of stuff. So when I say validating, it's like, okay, there's something there where I could probably do this.
Yeah, it's that little nudge.
Yeah, it's that something where it's like, all right, like I don't know. I don't know. That's the only real word I can think to describe it, because it really doesn't do anything. There's like pretty much like affiliate and partner. I think the similarities are pretty much the same, but except for like emotes unlocks, I think.
Well, I know that the vetting process is a little bit more strict, and that's the thing. You know, with the metrics that are behind YouTube, with sub count and, you know, hours listened, like to get to YouTube partnership levels, it's a little bit different, because you can kind of build that over time, and it's not as demanding. Whereas in Twitch, it's not something where, you know, like on YouTube, you can create that. You could say, I'm going to create a couple videos a week, and you could hit your numbers. And with Twitch, though, it really, really, really requires that consistent grind. And, you know, this is the rise and fall, the ebb and flow of the streamer lifestyle and culture, because it drives people to work hard and be consistent with their work ethic and their production schedule. But then at the same time, you've got people burning out every freaking day because they're breaking their ass, you know, streaming for 8-10 hours a day. And a lot of times they could be streaming for nobody. And it's like, it's so difficult.
Right.
So, you know, reaching those levels, I mean, Twitch does a great job, and rightfully so. They need to, because there's an overwhelmingly high amount of streamers streaming all these different types of shit. They have to be strict with it. But the Go space, I think Go has flourished on Twitch, and we've seen a boom with the PvP scene.
Yep.
So with content that's not PvP and Go based and doing well on Twitch, I think that that's another, accomplishment within itself, because we've seen this renaissance for Pokemon, the franchise, on Twitch, and especially this new boom of PvP. So when you're doing like shiny hunting and grinding and event coverage, and that's successful on Twitch, that speaks volumes to the content itself and not just the game. Because, then that people are watching for you. And dude, your personality's fucking,
amazing.
It's electric, dude. You know what I mean? So it's that's the fucking way, that's the reason, you're able to accomplish this, man, because the game is going to be there. It's on Twitch. It's all about the performer and the entertainment value. And, you should be super proud of that,
and
man.
you
it's
bring
fucking
it.
Awesome.
Yeah,
hell
I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, let's shift gears. You mentioned travel. I wanna get back to that a little bit. You were in Sentosa. Now, the pandemic has fucked everybody's travel plans this year. All the live events, Liverpool, St. Louis, everything just was destroyed because of this. No one was able to go anywhere. People are finally starting to get out of their house. You've been able to visit some really cool places prior to all this happening. Let our fans know, where has the game taken you? Where have you been?
Okay, so the game originally, and I think everyone can attest to this, originally took me all around my area in places I never knew existed in my area.
100%, yeah.
It's like I never knew there was a fucking bagel shop here.
Yeah, oh cool, let me try this place out. I know the back roads. I know a shortcut here now because of this. So I got to really explore my area because of that at first. But then it took me to Sentosa, Singapore, which I never thought I would go there. I've always wanted to travel and go places, but like my friends in my personal life, like I said, they're all starting families and stuff. They can't really just say, hey, let's go travel, right? So it's like I wasn't ever going to just go on my own to just explore these places. So I never knew I would go there, but so I went to Singapore. Then after that, I went to Chicago for Go Fest. After that, I went to Dortmund in Germany, which don't think I would have ever gone to. I've never been to Germany before, but I feel like I would have probably chosen somewhere different if I had gone. Somewhere that's more known, I guess. And then through that, I went, based on the airports, I don't know if that counts, but I went to London in one of the airports.
Hey man, that counts. You got the fucking stamp on the passport.
Yeah, perfect. Okay. Yeah. So
now you can just do remote raids and get it.
Yeah. No, I know. Yeah, now it's remote raids. We're good. And then I went to Japan, which I've always wanted to go to Japan. Always wanted to go because it just seemed so cool. And anything I would see, the city just looked like so many different vibrant colors, and just looked like freaking. That it's magic over there. We got to go. So I went there and I loved it. Then I went to Montreal in Canada, and then I went to Taiwan, New Taipei City, which I absolutely love Taiwan.
Damn, dude. All right. So you've been fucking everywhere, man. That is awesome. That's incredible. That is really freaking cool. It's amazing the power of the game and the content behind it, how this kind of has motivated and become a catalyst for so many people to get out there and travel. And it's amazing to be able to have creators that are doing this and documenting it for the behalf of the people like us that can't watch the stuff, and can't see it live. It's just super exciting. I absolutely freaking love that. And how did you get set up with the other YouTubers? Because I know that I would see you in so many other videos. I mean, was that being a Orange County thing? Is how did that all kind of come to be that you got connected with the existing YouTube community?
Honestly, I think I just developed a friendship with Holly because she came into one of my streams when I was playing Let's Go, when I had 400 people or something like that, and talked to me a bit in my stream there, and then we followed each other on Twitter, and then we kind of talked a bit, and then she was doing a community day meetup for Swine Up Day in February, I think. Yeah, it was around Valentine's, and I had some friends who were going to Vegas for Valentine's Day, and I was like, well, shoot, I'll go. You know what? Let me film a vlog and meet Holly, and that'll be cool. And we hit it off as friends there, and then we talked while going to Singapore, and then through Singapore I met everyone else, and then we just kind of became friends that way because everyone in the community is super freaking genuine and cool.
Yeah,
like you can't. It's
that's the truth.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, it's like it's insane. Like it's I'm like, these are like the nicest people I've ever met. Like, and I've got my own personal friends, right? Screw my friends. No, it's like these guys are they're so awesome and cool, and it was like such a great journey. And then after that, I met Jackie, Super Trainer Sakura, in Singapore as well, and then me, and Holly, and Nick went to, as soon as Singapore was over, we went to this Heart Walk in Tucson, Arizona.
The Night Foundation event.
Yeah. And so we did that, and so then we connected more there, just go out and get drinks, and then through that, like, we just kind of, since we all had experiences, and then we would just go to these Go Fest and stuff, we just all hang out. And
That's
then
great,
it's just
man.
kind of,
It is really cool, and with us, we've been very fortunate to work with so many, different creators and get to meet so many people. And, it really is an exceptionally genuine space to be in because everyone's got their own thing going. They've got their good, they've got their bad, they've got their personalities, they got this, they got that. But regardless of what their style is or what they have going on, everyone is exceptionally honest and genuine. And that's something I definitely appreciate about this segment of the video game culture, because I've worked in the gaming scene for a long time outside of Pokemon. And I came from like the competitive gaming space of like first person shooters and things like that, like Rainbow Six, Ghost Recon, Halo. Those were like, that was like the space that I was in for years and years and years. And there was plenty of camaraderie there, but the vibe and of the culture was just such a dynamic shift from what Pokemon is. And it kind of goes back to what we were saying earlier about the core games and how the Pokemon franchise is kind of built off of these core values and pillars of honesty and friendship and camaraderie and
then there's
caring. And then there's Twitter. Yes. And then there's Twitter and Reddit. No, but so you're very right when you say that, and I definitely see that, and I think that's super fucking cool. And it's like I've only talked to so many of these creators. It's like, so going to like events like GoFest last year and being at the Sylph party and being able to like hang out with fucking Reversal and have Stroopwafel and chill with Nick and all this stuff. It's like, it's so freaking cool that all of this kind of comes together for the creators, that we're able to experience this stuff and then kind of document it and share it with the community. I think that's, it's freaking phenomenal. Like I met Mystic 7 and Gilly at December Community Day at the Samsung 837 space in New York City. And it was cool. I've talked to him a billion times, but like that was the first time that we actually hung out in person, but like it didn't matter. Like we already had this camaraderie, like that we knew each other, even though we've only talked. It's just like, I just love this fucking community so much. So damn cool. So damn cool.
It's the best. I say the Pokemon community and probably the Pokemon Go community is the best community for gaming like on the planet. Because like I've been in other communities, not like as like somebody who's like even like a voice at all, but like if I stream Fortnite for a day, right? Like there's gonna be people going there and be like, "You're a bot, you suck, build," blah blah, like that type of stuff. Like it's very like the Pokemon community is just all about the kind of the core values of Pokemon, where it's just like friendship, catching them, like bonding through that, and traveling and exploring different lands, like.
Yeah, no, I love that, and even in the different areas of the Pokemon franchise itself, like in the anime world, and Adam is very entrenched in the TCG world. It's like those values cross over to all the different corners of the Pokemon fandom. I think that just makes a very, very robust and rounded community. So and Go was kind of the outcast when it first came out, because you had 20 years of Pokemon lore and history being developed through the anime and the TCG and the video games, the main series games, and then Go comes along and a billion new people get on board, and it was kind of like, whoa, you know what I mean? Like hold on, sister, you know, like everything, like hit the brakes.
Yeah, you never played mainstream games. Come on.
Yeah.
Who
it's
are
like,
you?
you know, everyone thought that, you know, people were fake and this and that, but it eventually became like a very mutual understanding of where the Go community fit into the Pokemon franchise. And then once, you know, the success of the game took off, which was right away, it was like the other people in the franchise like, okay, I like this game too. Like, you could stay.
Yeah, I love being at card tournaments
than the TCG has in 20 years. You've generated in 1 year, so it's okay.
I enjoy going to the card tournaments, and then all of a sudden, well, I mean, I used to, but then they would be over or top cut started, so you'd have all these players that are just kind of like normally just sitting around trading or anything. Now everybody's on their phone. They're doing the raid across the street.
Yeah.
So it's so much fun.
So cool. So cool.
It's so cool. And I'm actually shocked by the amount of people I've met whose introduction to Pokemon was through Pokemon Go.
Yep.
Like I'm like, wow, you have this much of a passion. Like they're way more passionate about like grinding and catching and raiding than I have. And I'm like, wait, you started with Go? Like, and he's like, yeah, I've got like 500 million experience and this many Pokemon caught. And I'm like, yeah, like I'll see a lot of that. Like,
yeah, no, people go hard, dude. It's crazy.
Yeah. The only time I remember there being like a real difference, I guess, was during the April Fool's joke where all the Pokemon were like the sprites that they were in the game.
Sure.
And like people who hadn't played the main series that I would like raid with would be like, this is so stupid. Like, why is this? I can't tell what my Pokemon is, blah, blah. And I was like, what? It's cool. It looks like the old one.
Dude, that was my favorite.
Yeah,
honestly,
Adam was so mad when it went away.
Back.
Adam was so mad. I was like, dude, I'm so tired of it. Bring back the regular sprites.
No, I love seeing my Delibird in the sprite form. But give me that event back so I can see my shiny Delibird and my shadow Delibird in the 8-bit. Come on, I need to see that, please.
Or just a toggle, like a little toggle. It's like
even if it's like, you know, only for a couple of days, you know, just allow us. Come on.
Yeah.
Niantic, I have one wish. This is it. Well, no, actually,
that's what you're going to use your one wish on.
No.
Niantic wish?
No. My wish this year for Christmas is the Delibird with the hat, or Pikachu with the Delibird hat. That's all I want. That's all I want for Christmas.
That'd be awesome.
But Tom, looking into the future, how are you going to continue to develop your YouTube and Twitch balance?
My anxieties, you say? No.
I almost did a spit take.
No, I'm kidding. No, just kidding. Honestly, I just kind of take it day by day. I've recently, like I've mentioned, how I've been very aware that I've not been as giving as much love to my YouTube as I should be. So I want to make a change in the future to kind of be able to do more of that. There's just been a lot, like, and it's all excuses, but there's been a lot, like, in my personal life with, like, family and all that. So I'll kind of, like, take care of that stuff. I'll be like, all right, I can do this, and then I'll start streaming at 6. I didn't film anything today, all right, so I just got to worry about that some other time. But I need to make an actual effort to get the two, like, I need to get, like, an actual genuine schedule to where I'm like, all right, I'm making content on the YouTube while also making content on the Twitch. Because I respect the hell out of all the other creators that are able to do
multitask.
That'll multitask. Yeah,
it's intense, man. It's intense to manage 2 platforms plus social media and all that. It's insane.
Listen, I'm trying my hardest just to deal with, you know, Instagram.
Dude, I know.
Then don't get me started on TikTok.
Yeah, I don't post.
That's like I have one idea, and then it's like 2 days later, I'm like, oh man, I still have that idea. I should probably do it. And then like 2 weeks later, I'm like, oh, I'll finally do it.
Right. No, totally. Like I've done some news segments in a way that I wanted to do news segments, but it took me forever to do it. Where I just kind of like make it seem like this dude that's, you know, overwhelmed with the information and trying to figure it out.
But the important part is you're doing it, right?
Yeah. So like someone like Zoe, I respect the hell out of. Like I'll be like watching a stream or something like that, and then I'll get like a notification that a video came up. And then I'll like go on to like Instagram and there's like all these like intricate designed like Instagram like photos. And I'm like, how are you doing all this? Like, she is like I respect the hell of her, and like that's everyone pretty much does that in the field besides myself. So I need to be better. So.
Hey, at least you're honest, and honesty is the best policy. Okay.
Yeah. No, for sure.
And now, how do you think the play from home style is going to influence, future events and content?
I don't know if I don't think I'm alone in this, but I've really enjoyed the play from home style. I think it won't change the way I play when events happen. So, for example, if there is another Go Fest, I'm not gonna like, well, they're doing a Go Fest at home too, so I'm just staying. I'm gonna want to.
Yeah, no. If there's a physical Go Fest, we're going. Like the hands down.
Yeah.
There's no staying home. Yes, you could do the play at home version, but you got to be wherever Go Fest is. Period.
Well, that's kind of what I think that we'll probably see, even with the live events when the live events come back. I'd imagine there's going to be some degree of a play at home companion version of those events. I don't know. I just don't.
Even
see,
if
like,
it's
with
a
the
$1
success of,
to unlock, like,
well, that's what I mean.
Two,
it's like they
two
made,
different spawns, but like they appear more frequently. You know what I mean?
Like, who knows how many fucking tickets they sold to Go Fest? I know they hit like 1 million tickets in 3 days. So it's like they would kind of be remiss if they didn't say, all right, well, there's obviously a business proposition here that we should.
Well, they said
continue to
millions with like an S sound. Or a Z sound,
they had announced when 3 days into the they were like, yeah, we sold 1 million tickets.
Well, did you see that they said they were donating, instead of 5 million, they're donating 10 million?
10 million, dude. It's fucking insane.
So they had to have like tripled whatever they thought,
Bro, I spent $60 on raid passes this weekend.
Dude,
just on raid
get
passes.
Me started.
Just on fucking raid passes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I dropped $100, the other day, and it was like, all right, I'm out of coins again. I was like, holy shit, dude, they're fucking raking it in. It was awesome. Good for them.
Honestly,
I think there's always going to be a home version of events. I'd imagine going forward.
I think so too. I feel like there would be a lot of, I don't know, I guess nicely, like, disappointment from the community if there wasn't. But I think like there should be a play at home, like you said, like a sister version of play from home, but if you go to the actual physical one, there will be like more benefits, like the shiny rate's higher.
Yeah, no.
Or you get a special medallion for being there.
Yeah, it would be like Go Fest Light, like a very, very thinned out version that will still give you an experience, but definitely not the same as.
Yeah, I just loved. I really did love, because I live streamed a lot of it. I loved talking with everyone like about it and being able to experience it. Like, in the past, when I would do videos, I'd get a lot of messages being like sad that they couldn't attend. And this time around, there were very few, some people who didn't buy a ticket, but the majority was like, oh, I got a Durant, or I got an Unknown, I got a this and that. And like, it was cool to be able to kind of like share the excitement of it with everyone together. Like, we all got to play.
Yeah, they definitely did it right. The stay at home and then the
for sure.
virtual lounge and all that.
Yeah.
So freaking cool. So cool. Well, dude, Tom, thank you so much for coming on the show, man. It's always a fucking good time to have you on. Your energy is infectious. And, I definitely want to make sure that, the podcast community checks you out on Twitch, checks you out on YouTube. Why don't you let our community know where they can find you? And, we'll make sure that, all the links to Tom's stuff, the Kruse Ship, will be in the description. But let our community know where you're at.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. It's always a pleasure talking to you guys. You guys are so chill. You're fun. It's a bummer we couldn't go to Go Fest and freaking hang out in person. But
next time.
I appreciate you guys. My stuff is the Kruse Ship on YouTube. It is spelled Kruse. I named it that because my name is Tom Cruise and I'm a weirdo. And then Twitch is basically the same thing. It's the Kruse Ship, all one word, but it's got YT at the end of it for that stands for YouTube, because back in the day, I know I'm prolonging this the plug thing right now, but back in the day when I was like, I might do Twitch in the future, someone took the handle, and then like when I went there, it was just like a Pepe Frog, like.
Yep, that's how they roll. That's how people roll, man. They just squat on fucking names. It's like, damn you, Zoe got screwed with that too.
Really?
Yeah, she's, I think on her Twitter or something, there's like, she had to add an underscore or something like that somewhere.
Oh,
damn it.
gotcha.
God damn it. It's like,
Right.
Give it up.
Yeah. So basically, it's every other platform besides YouTube. It is the Kruse Ship YT, all words. So Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. And then YouTube is just the Kruse Ship, separate 3 words, I guess.
Yeah, because why would you put
space
YouTube
Kruse.
on YouTube? You know what I mean? Yeah. Doesn't make sense.
God, could you imagine if that was it?
No.
I love
man.
seeing it in trainers' names, because then they have a YouTube.
I know. Believe me, man. I had to change all my. I have an 11-year-old son. He's like, "No, man, I gotta add the YT. I gotta change all my account names." It's like, all right, dude, you're a YouTuber. It's all good.
Yeah, no,
I got you, man. But dude, Tom, thanks again, man. We really appreciate you coming on the show. It's always a good time. I look forward to the next live event so we could actually hang out, get some drinks.
Yeah, we got to
man,
cut
and
off our
just
sleeves or something next time.
Oh, dude, I was pissing my pants. I was like, he really cut his fucking sleeves off. I go, that's amazing. That is absolutely fucking amazing. But for everyone else, thank you so much for checking out the show. We really appreciate everyone listening. Please check out luredup.com for everything that we have going on with the show. PokemonProfessor.com for everything that we have going on at the network. Our merch store is live, and we now have fanny packs. So get your fanny pack, your Lured Up Podcast fanny pack, which is absolutely hilarious.
I need one.
Yeah, dude. And we got masks and stuff too now. So
What?
Plenty of stuff up there. PokemonProfessor.com/merch.
I'm going there now.
Tom, once again, thank you so much for coming on the show. We appreciate it.
thank you guys, man. I appreciate it as well.
All right, everyone. Keep training trainers. We'll see you next week. Take care.